What's going on, everyone at LA Sports? Back with another video. In this video, I'm going to be going over Kadarius Toney and the game he had, and talking a little bit about his future because it looks very, very bright for the New York Giants. As of course, he was our first-round pick, 20th overall in the past draft. After we traded back, got an extra pick, and then selected him. I'm going to be talking about him and his future with the team, as well as an injury update on the New York Giants, as I would say it's pretty positive. And we're going to get started right there with, of course, the tough injuries that went down yesterday. The Giants, first of all, they opened up as 10.5-point underdogs at home against the LA Rams. Obviously, due to all the injuries, it makes sense. I would imagine if all the players were healthy, they would be probably 5 or 6, maybe 7-point underdogs if that were the case. But in this football game, they're going to be without a lot of players. We're going to start off with the injury report. Sterling Shepard is questionable to play, as well as Jabril Peppers and Darius Slayton. So those three guys, if we can get them back, it will be very good. Andrew Thomas is questionable, but everyone's optimistic that he's going to end up playing in this football game. Ben Bredesen is questionable. So Matt Parrott, we're going to actually talk about him quickly. I feel like he's a guy who can really get in the lineup and play on that O-line, as he had a pretty good day yesterday. Joe Judge liked what he saw, he thinks, and he said that if him, Andrew Thomas, and Nate Solder stay healthy, them three are going to rotate the tackle spots. But the rest of the injuries, Kadarius Toney suffered an ankle injury that he played through yesterday. He got tests done on that. Joe Judge, he said it's nothing serious, but at the same time, it's something to look out for. Expect him to be limited in practice this week, and expect him probably to play on Sunday. As for Saquon Barkley, it looked really bad, that injury, and it is, from what it sounds like, it's a lot better. Saquon is, according to Ian Rappaport, expected to miss 1 to 2 weeks, which is, the Giants just dodged a bullet there. Daniel Jones, he's in the NFL concussion protocol, so that could, that's something that doesn't really have a timetable. He could play Sunday, but don't expect the Giants to really rush it back. Expect a Week 7 return for Daniel Jones at the probably the latest. And then Kenny Golladay, same thing with him and Barkley. They will be out approximately 1 to 2 weeks. So Giants, in terms of the injuries, it sucks and it's tough that they have all these injuries, but it's good to hear that these players are progressing well and better than a lot of us thought when the injuries happened and, heard after the game. So positive there for the New York Giants. Now I want to touch on Kadarius Toney, and he is a guy who, of course, the Giants, like I said, they traded back from 11, got to 20. They got themselves an extra first-round pick this year with a Bears team that they're off to a 3-2 start after playing the easy part of their schedule. Now it's going to get really tough for them. They're a team that I feel like is not going to be very good this season, and I think that pick could be a top 10 pick. They aren't a playoff team, so the Giants will be picking in the top 15, and they will likely have their own pick probably in the top 15 range as well. So the Giants get an extra first-round pick, I believe an extra third-round pick, and then, of course, Kadarius Toney, who, he is just explosive. In his NFL debut, he had 2 catches. He had, in terms of yardage, -2 yards. And then he didn't play week 2. In week 3, he had 2 catches on 3 targets for 16 yards. And then he really expanded his game in week 4. He had 6 receptions out of 9 targets for 78 yards. That was when Giants had Slayton and Shepard get injured. It sucks that we had to get 2 guys injured for to really see his progression and how he really plays. But it was the case. And then, of course, yesterday's game, he was absolutely ridiculous. We saw him catch a snap in the Wildcat where he ran 7 yards. I believe it was a first and goal from the 10, something like that, or maybe second and goal from the 10. But overall, in 13 targets, he had 10 catches for 189 yards and 196 yards from scrimmage. So, the guy is absolutely ridiculous. He's explosive, and he really, really reminds me and a lot of other Giants fans just like Odell Beckham. He has that big play type of vibe, and he can take it. He could take a 5-yard pass 50 yards. He's one of those guys where he could turn nothing into something. A lot like Saquon Barkley. So it's good to see that the Giants have a couple of very, very explosive players. Hopefully Barkley's a part of our long-term future. I hope he is, and he's a really good player if he could stay on the field. But overall, Toney just looks very, very good as a pro, and that now makes a question about Darius Slayton's future here. We know Sterling Shepard will definitely be here next season especially because they restructured his contract. So he'll be back next season, and I feel like he might be back for even longer. But what does that mean for the Giants' third on the depth chart, third wide receiver when he comes back? He might not be third anymore because of Kadarius Toney, but that is Darius Slayton. We do know about Darius Slayton that he's going to be here next season. His contract, unless there's a trade, but I can't imagine that. I feel like Darius Slayton's a guy that the Giants really don't need. When his contract expires, he's going to be demanding probably maybe about $8 to $12 million, and that's just something that Giants don't really have the room and money to pay, and they don't have to pay him. And I feel like Kadarius Toney is just going to be a very good player. Darius Slayton is a guy who may not be part of the New York Giants' long-term plans. But overall with Kadarius Toney, I really, really like what we're seeing from him. He came out with an apology before today about his punch, and he said, he got out of character and it was heat of the moment kind of thing. You gotta let it go sometimes. It's a rookie move, rookie mistake. Hopefully he's able to learn from it. But apparently he's a very good guy in the room, and a lot of his teammates really, really like him. So that's obviously good to hear. And if he's defending himself, you kind of give him the time of day. He got completely knocked to the ground. So not that I'm making excuses for him. I like the grit. I definitely like that he wants to win. That shows that he really, really wants to win. And I just really like Kadarius Toney. He's becoming a fan favorite. And as a New York Giants fan, I really, really am starting to like that selection by Dave Gettleman and Joe Judge of Kadarius Toney. He looks like an explosive guy that will be a part of the New York Giants' long-term plans for a very, very long time. And I could not be more happy about that. Hopefully the Giants are able to get all their weapons back soon. Hopefully they're able to start winning some games. But you guys let me know what you think down below in the comment section on the injury report. Let me know what you think about Kadarius Toney. And, does that make room and leave room for Darius Slayton? I personally don't think the Giants need to have Darius Slayton part of their long-term plans. And I don't think he will be, especially, having a few good wide receivers that the Giants could really, really use in many different ways. And, to me, they just don't need Darius Slayton. You guys let me know down below in the comment section what you think. And as always, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We'll see you guys all in the next video.